Going live.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the
republic for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call.
Okay, Commissioner Dominic excused, Commissioner Shermack,
Yes.
Mayor Chelik,
Present.
Mrs. Gatto,
Present.
Mrs. Sacco,
Present.
Mr. Tobin. He's here. Got he on mute? And Mr. Patel.
Present.
Okay,
All right. Well, here we go. Opportunity for public to address the board on agenda items. Any public?
yeah, the board had until, the public had until 9 o'clock this morning to submit anything to the board, and I did not receive anything.
Okay. All right. I'm sure everybody had a chance to look at the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from August 10th?
Motion to approve.
A second.
I'll second.
All on the question. All in favor? Aye.
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 Thank you. Presentation of vouchers.
Yeah, we only had three. One was for NeighborWorks, which we had an agreement with them concerning our website management and marketing. That was in the amount of $5,000. Attorney Kolbasani for $1,500, and we recorded 9 deeds that we took in from the repository, and that amounted to $366.75. Anybody have any questions?
No. Okay, thank you. Do we have any bid openings?
No.
You have to, Commissioner, you have to.
We have to do a
motion
thing?
to accept approve the vouchers.
Okay, well, then we'll go back to that. So do I have a motion to accept these, the vouchers?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. On the question? All in favor? Aye.
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 Thank you. Okay. So we did the bids, discussion items.
Okay, I'll go over the land bank property disposition update. Nothing has changed as far as the amount of properties conveyed since the last meeting. We're at 233 right now. There was a little bit of delay of getting some of the repository deeds into the land bank. So right now there's 8 properties pending and 2 properties. This is in the city of Scranton to be considered at today's meeting. And, I'll just go over everything, for the public as far as what's been conveyed to date. As far as the city of Scranton, West Scranton, there's been 62 properties conveyed. In South Scranton, 41 properties. In North Scranton, 38. In Green Ridge, 20. In East Scranton, 9. We've conveyed 3 properties to the city of Scranton. We've conveyed 2 properties to United Neighborhood Community Development Corporation. 4 properties to Scranton Lackawanna Resource Development Corporation, 1 to the Ronald McDonald House. In Covington Township, we have conveyed 32 properties. 1 is pending, and 4 properties will be considered at today's meeting. Carbondale City, we've conveyed 15 properties. In Vandling, 1 property. Fell Township, 1 property. Troop Borough, 1 property. Scott Township, 1 property conveyed. Thornhurst, 1 property. And then 1 property pending, and another property will be considered at today's meeting. Jefferson Township, 1 property is pending, and that's the property that we went in for the Trump bid for at a judicial sale for them to acquire a property to construct a retention pond for some to alleviate some flooding around Mount Cobb Road. And we have in Dunmore, we have 2 properties that would be considered at today's meeting.
Okay.
There hasn't been any changes as far as the current land bank members. We're still at the same. We haven't received any new interest as of this date.
Okay. So anything on Blight Task Force?
Jess, did you want to mention some things or?
Yeah, sure. So really the only update is we've worked with a number of volunteer groups to do improvements, I think at 5 different land bank properties starting this summer, and have kept up maintenance on a few of those that were in high visibility areas. So really our goal was to kind of work with Ralph and identify some of the properties that we were getting complaints on and properties that are high visibility in certain target neighborhoods, and make sure that they were addressed. So University of Scranton, I think, was the latest volunteer group. They had a couple of students coming out from their freshman class for service projects a few weeks ago, and did some improvements on some land bank property. So really the goal now is just to continue to connect volunteer groups and those who want to roll up their sleeves and help out with blighted properties or properties that just need maintenance, and to connect them with some of these land bank properties that need attention. So we continue to look at those opportunities as they come, but that's really all to report. Thank you.
And we really appreciate that, Jesse, because I Todd sent me some photos before and after of some of those photos, and they really look good. And also, I'd like to report that the city has also been maintaining some of the properties that the land bank owns. So we thank them. I think their Parks and Recreation have joined in to help us with that.
Yeah, and I've approached the prison about the community service programs and trying to get that back up and running. I know that they'd like to do that, and I just haven't been able to get it to work out. Supposedly they sold the equipment or got rid of the equipment, or they don't have vehicles. So I don't know, but I'll stay on top of that as much as I can. But I wish I could do something, but.
Commissioner, do we know how much the equipment cost that they had?
I don't know what they had. I know they had a vehicle, which they no longer have. And as far as equipment, I'm sure it was just basic like lawnmowers and hand tools and stuff like that. So I don't think it would be, weed whackers, that kind of thing. So it wouldn't be a huge expense. And I know that the folks that were in charge of that would really like to get it going. So that was the sticking point, was the main thing was the vehicle. So I don't know. I don't know what they had. I'm sure it was a pickup truck, but I'm not even sure. I'll have to ask the warden again and see, if that's something that maybe we could look into and really push to get going.
Right, because it may be something that could fall under one of our grants, like our Blight to Bright or something, that we could potentially buy some equipment for them to maintain the properties. So
I will call the warden today and revisit that, and I'll let you know what he says, and we'll see if we can do something.
okay, great.
Thank you. Yep, thank you. Advisory committee.
Yes, prior to today's meeting, we did have an advisory committee, and we did review. I'll go over the properties that the board will be considering today. Starting on the first page, there's a property up in Thornhurst. It's at Thornhurst Country Club Estates. Received an application from Regina and Ken Gray. They own the property right in front of this. They just want to extend their property for a bigger yard for their children to play in. So, and they submitted an offer of $500 for that property. And again, that's up in Thornhurst. The next few are at Eagle Lake, and these 4 properties that are at, like I said, at Eagle Lake, and Eagle Lake community is strictly recreation. There's no permanent structures. So the first one is at Buckaroo Byway, E5 281. And Melissa and John Early of Brooklyn, New York, submitted an application. And I know I have on the bottom here the wrong name, but they submitted an offer of $500 for the property. Am I having an issue with something here? I can hear my
little bit.
Okay. Am I all right now? No. Okay.
Yeah, you're okay with me.
Yeah,
All right. I hear a little reverb or something.
yeah,
Can everyone else hear that? Or-
Yeah, I can hear you, Ralph.
Okay, the next one is at Holiday Drive, J3 115. And an application was received from Jenny Torres of Lyndhurst, New Jersey. And she submitted an offer of $500 for the property. The next two properties, we received applications from Marcos Vieira of North Brunswick, New Jersey. And they would like to buy these two properties up at Covington Township and Eagle Lake, and he offered $500 for each of those properties. Moving on to the next page, there's two properties up in Dunmore that we received an application from Robin Lutchko. He would like to purchase the properties and just maintain for green space. There was no additional applications received, and she submitted an offer of $500 for each of those properties. The next one is a side lot at 616 Barrett Court. Mr. Mark Holmes, Mineral Avenue. Mr. Holmes owns the adjacent property. I have a typographical error there. It should be, he owns the property ending in 32. The property he's interested in is ending in 34. So between those properties, it would make a buildable lot. And for the time being, he just wants to maintain a green space, but possibly in the future, build a home on those properties using both of those. Again, he offered and that was $150 for the property under the Land Bank Side Lot Program. The next one is on Street. This property is directly behind the school, which is now owned by the Agency for Community Empowerment of NEPA. That is their Head Start program, and they want to utilize this for excess land and for possibly parking in the future. There were no additional applications for the property, and they submitted an offer of $150 under the side lot program. Does anybody have any questions?
no, I don't.
Ralph, just backing up on the one, Mr. Mark Holmes. The property in question the PIN number ends in 34.
The PIN number, yeah, right.
But his property that he currently owns ends in 32.
Yeah. I do have
Okay,
them correct.
so then the resolution is okay.
Right.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, that's all.
Yeah, Mayor Chelik brought that to my attention earlier as well. Thanks, Mayor.
He's a stickler for detail.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's right.
You got to be careful. You never know when you're going to end up in a lawsuit.
Ralph, it's Joe, real fast. I just got to ask ACTV, is your YouTube on in the background?
Mine?
Yeah, because the Mark from ACTV said there's a feedback issue.
I don't have it on. Does somebody have it on?
No, it'll only be the person talking. It's a weird.
It would only be me?
There's a weird feedback issue. He said that sounds like you're. There's like a buzzing noise going on.
So maybe he should log out of this and come back in. What do you think?
Yeah, Ralph, please.
All right. Yep.
Geez, I feel responsible. I did give Ralph some feedback earlier today.
We okay now?
Yep.
A little bit better, right?
We're
Okay.
good now.
Better? Yep.
Yes.
All righty, okay. I guess we can move along to the resolutions.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead. Resolution number 22-030.
Okay, this is a resolution approving the acquisition of the properties from Lackawanna County Tax Claim Bureau for positive unsold property. They're the properties that I just went over. Parcel address 616 Barrett Court, Spring Street, Old Drinker Pike, 2 at Old Drinker Pike, Fiesta Drive, R2 264 in Covington Township, Holiday Drive, J3 115 Covington Township, Caballero Court, E3 217 Covington Township, Buckaroo Byway, E5 281 in Covington Township, and Thornhurst Country Club Estates, Section 3, Lot 1129 in Thornhurst. I'm hearing that again.
Yeah, we'll deal with it.
Okay.
Okay, well, is hearing what Mr. Pappas had to say, do I have an approval or a motion to approve these purchases?
Motion.
In a second,
Second.
on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Resolution number 22-031.
Okay, this is a resolution authorizing the conveyance of certain land bank property under the Land Bank Property Purchase Program. The first property is Old Drinker Pike, and that will be sold to Robin Lutchko of 601 West Lackawanna Avenue for $500. The next one, also at Old Drinker Pike, sold to Robin Lutchko, 601 West Lackawanna Avenue in Osmond for $500. The next one, Holiday Drive, J3 115 in Covington Township, he sold to Jenny Torres of Lyndhurst, New Jersey for $500. The next one is at Fiesta Drive, R3 264 in Covington Township, will be sold to Marcus Piera of New Brunswick, New Jersey for the price of $500. The next one at Caballero Court, E3 217 Covington Township. That will be sold to Marcos Piera of North Brunswick, New Jersey for $500. Did I miss one? Am I good here? The next one is at Buckaroo Byway, E5 281 in Covington Township, to be sold to John and Melissa Early from Brooklyn, New York for $500. The next one at Thornhurst Country Club Estates, Section 3, Lot 1129 in Thornhurst, to Ken and Regina Gray for $500.
Okay. I think you got them all. A motion to approve these purchases.
I'll make that motion.
Motion.
Second,
I'll second.
on the question? All in favor? Aye.
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 Thank you. Resolution number 22-032.
This is a resolution authorizing the conveyance under certain land bank owned property under the land bank side lot program. The address is at 616 Barrett Court, and it will be sold to Mr. Mark Holmes for $150. Next one is on Spring Street in Scranton, and that one will be sold to the Agency for Community Empowerment of Northeastern PA for the price of $150.
Okay. A motion to approve these purchases.
I'll make the motion.
In a second,
I'll second.
on the question? All in favor? Aye.
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 Thank you. Resolution number 22-033.
Okay, this is a resolution granting permission to sell or convey a property previously acquired from the land bank under the 5-year property retention policy. I sent an email out to the board members and to the solicitor regarding the circumstances involved and why she wants to sell this property. And due to the extenuating circumstances, I believe everyone is in favor of this, allowing her to sell this property before the 5 years is up. So if anybody doesn't, but under the certain conditions that the seller identifies the prospective purchaser for the land bank, for land bank approval, and it is sold at the same price the purchaser paid for the property, plus any expenses incurred to date.
Mhm.
So I believe everyone knows the circumstances here, so
Yes.
we want to move.
Okay, well, do I have a motion to grant permission to sell this piece of property?
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
On the question, all in favor? Aye.
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 Thank you. Opportunity for the public to address the board. Anything there?
They had until 5 o'clock or till 9 o'clock this morning to submit anything, and I did not receive anything.
Okay. Any comments or concerns from any board members? I had, you know what? I have a question, and it's just because I drive by it every day in the town of Dalton. There's a building. It's right at the corner. It was sold, and it's just falling apart. I don't know. Has anybody heard anything about that? I haven't talked to the borough.
I believe I've had some calls on that, and if it was, I don't believe it's in the repository. I'd have to look to see if it was if it's on the upset sale list.
Okay.
So it would have to go through an upset sale, and you know that's coming up this month.
Yeah.
And I mean the land bank could possibly get involved if well, first of all, you know, Dalton isn't a member of the land bank. They'd have to be a member along with the Abington Heights School District for us to get involved.
Well, that's Lackawanna Trail, but yeah.
Oh, Lackawanna Trail, okay, Dalton,
Yeah.
right, okay.
I'll look into it. It was just a question that I had, and I think about it when I'm going home because I go by it. But I'll look into it. All right. Well, we have a next meeting coming up Wednesday, October 12th at 11 a.m. So do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
In a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Next
Everyone
month.
get